pray. Father, we just want to thank you for your goodness. We want to thank you, Lord, for your loving kindness towards us. Father, through many dangers, toils, and snares, we have already come. And we know, God, by your grace, you will safely take us home. And so tonight, Lord, we pray that whatever is said and done here tonight, oh God, will bring honor and glory to your name. And so, Lord, we pray, oh God, that you will be with the speakers as they come forth to deliver the program of the Antigua Barbuda Labour Party, rebuilding together. And for this we say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for all your mercies. And this we pray in not a name, but the name of Jesus. Amen.
Wow. Reverend Benjamin, that is going to take the seat home for us. They have some kind of, look, we don't even know their names, but somebody running against him, whoever that is. Let's just say his opponent. The Labour Party's creed. We believe in the empowerment of our people, the elimination of poverty, the provision of full employment, equitable distribution of wealth, and the equality of That's right. Think about it. Comrades and friends, everybody, we are all one family. One family. Comrades and friends, the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, we are edged in the history books for performance. Our Prime Minister and our team, they have performed in two-thirds, close to 4 years they have performed. Since we won the election in 2014, there have been nothing but all positive. Nobody can identify one scandal in this Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party's administration. We have done exceptionally well, because if it happens, you know that the world boss will deal with it in a real way. And so we have an excellent team, and we are coming all the way from Cedar Grove to Old Road. And come March the 22nd, it's going to be Labour. Let me hear you, man. Labour. Labour. Teething problems. Bear with us. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. But comrades and friends, it is a late start. And so, I will be chairing the meeting tonight. So we are going to call on and call off, because we want to give you as much time to hear what the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party we have been doing over 3 years. Comrades and friends, help me welcome to the mic the parliamentary representative from St. George. Comrades and friends, he will take care of the terrorists. He will send the terrorists home. He will send the terrorists home. Welcome to the microphone, Dean Jonas. Dean Jonas.
Good night, comrades. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, comrades all. You know, I have been going around St. George community talking to all my people as I normally do. And do you know the message that they're delivering to me from my community in St. George? They said, Harold Lovell is the worst political leader that Antigua and Barbuda has ever seen in the history of politics. The worst. In his bid to become leader of the UPP, Lovell completely gutted the UPP of all its fighters. All its fighters. They have nobody to bring the fight to us. So this has now become a cakewalk. This is like taking candy from children. Taking sweetie from picking nigger. This fight that I'm in right now, if you can call it that. Just imagine. They bring a guy to run in St. George. A parachute. He took a parachute to come in. Like a terrorist. A parachute, he was parachuted in. In St. George, there are close to 5,000 registered voters. Close to that. When they had a primary in St. George for the UPP, they had about 50 or so persons voting in that primary. Can you believe it? Out of 5,000, the entire branch has abandoned him. He has no branch. Can you imagine that the former chairman, the former chairman of the St. George's branch is now walking around with Kelton Dalso, campaigning? Huh? Can you imagine that? Huh? Where they going with this person? I'm telling you, this is like taking candy from children. Huh? I really feel sorry for them, you know. I feel sorry for them. And this is all Harold Lovell's doing. His choice of people to become candidates in the UPP is completely weak and exposes him to be the indecisive leader that he really is. Just like when he used to run tourism first and then the country's finances. Brought us to our knees economically. Completely destroyed Antigua and Barbuda. And when Joan Messiah decided to raise her head to take over leadership of the UPP, they killed her politically. So she left. And a whole lot of them walked out with her. So they have nothing to fight with. No one. No generals. So they're fighting with pawns right now. Fighting with pawns. Can you imagine that after the blow that I delivered to them in the last election, that they would come with something like this? It's an insult. Let me tell you now, people of St. George, they don't love you. If they did, they would not bring this to you. No way. They would never do this to bring this quality of individual to you as a candidate. With all they say about Jackie Quinn, you know. She was rude. She was rude. You know, when I first decided to enter politics and throw my hat in the ring, my mother told me, said, Dean, you have to be careful with Jackie, you know, because she can cuss. She can cuss, and you can't cuss. Say, you know nothing but cussing, Dean. Maybe, she said, maybe Hensworth can take she on. He can cuss, but not you. I said, Mom, what do you know about politics? Politics is not about cussing people. And can you believe that the cussing is what caused her demise? Went into the parliament of Antigua and Barbuda, cussed Gwentong, cussed everybody. But you know, in spite of her flaws, Jackie Quinn was a woman. She was a PhD in whatever she have a PhD in, so she claimed. She was well-spoken, a good debater. And I love her. But they moved from, you know, it was hard, you know, to go up against Jackie, and I'm telling you all, but I had to do what I had to do. Now they move from Jackie and bring this to St. George. This to St. George. What an insult. What a shame and disgrace. I don't even know what to do. Huh? Oh my goodness. Like I say, you know, this is like taking candy from children. Huh? But let us keep focused. Let us stay focused, my people. We're going to win this war. What happened to a mic? We are going to win this war. The battle in St. George is won already, you know. My opponent, let me tell you now, I did not do anything to my opponent. He can't vex with me. He shot himself in the head from day one. He loved gun. He take up the gun, he don't know how to use it, and shot himself in the head politically. So he dead. Election day is just to bury him. That's all we're going to do. He not run again. That's it. He's not going to run again. So let me tell you, my people, let us stay focused. We got to bring home all 17. And I am going to focus my energy on making sure that happens. Count on that. Count on that. As you see, I'm in fighting fit shape. I'm ready to go. So anything they bring at me, I will deal with it. So, let us stay focused. Let us bring home all 17. I am going to win, and everybody going to win with me. All the way with Labour. All the way with Labour. Let us bring Labour home. Let us bring Labour home. We're going to get it. We're going to win it. Thank you, my people.
Them flop. Them flop. Boy, look! Comrade Dean Jonas, I can share plenty licks. And you know, he beat you by plenty. So when you get blown, nobody can find you. That's Dean Jonas. He do it for the love, he don't do it for the likes. Labour all the way. On a serious note, the governor of the central bank visited the cabinet, and I happened to have been sitting in there, and believe me, I watched him and I said to the Prime Minister, maybe we need to add him to the campaign team. He was so, in a way that he congratulated the Prime Minister for leading the region. And he asked the Prime Minister, whatever you're going to do, make sure that you do it well, so that the next day, the day after election, you're back to serve. He said, and I quote, the OECS, that's a combination of countries, they spend 7 cents per dollar, and your little Antigua and Barbuda spends 9 cents per dollar. Give yourself a round of applause, man. This is serious business. Our little country leads from the front. And comrades and friends, for that, we should be very, very proud, because we have an excellent team and an excellent leader in the world, boss. Labour all the way. We winning? You ready? You ready? We have a truck on the road. Put your hands together and help me welcome to the platform Darrell Matthew. He is new. He is good. You're going to love him. And he will be replacing Comrade Tico Lake in Rural South. Comrade Darrell Matthew.
DJ, what happened? DJ. Pull up the tune, man. When the wicked try to fight you down in an evil lost way, stand up firm and hold your ground in the Gideon sin. Let's go! Hey! Hold on. DJ, not tonight. Serious business tonight. All right, thank you. Comrades! All right. You know, for the last couple of months, boy, the amount of things I hear about myself is amazing. But it's one thing I have to say to all the detractors, huh? With Christ in the vessel, we smile at the storm. Civil, he burned them. But guess what? When I was younger, I used to go to Sunday school plenty. Right? I even used to teach confirmation class at one point. See the Hall Moravian Church. And one of the things that always stood out to me is a scripture. When I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But now I've become a man, I've put away childish things. I don't have anything else to say about that. Comrades, this Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party administration has done well. The Honorable Gaston Brown has done well. The cabinet of Antigua and Barbuda has done well. And anyone who says that's not so, they're purging their conscience. You see, on Saturday night, I stood up on that stage at Rising Sun and I just smiled. I looked at the thousands in the crowd and smiled. Because for the last 2-3 months, every week on the radio, call the election. They afraid the people. They have failed. We want to get rid of them out of office. And the Prem say, all right, you know what? You want them? And now they can't catch themselves. Listen to me. You see, come election day, Antigua and Barbuda will be like it was in 1984. It's 1984, the 17th on 1984. The United Progressive Party administration, come the day after the general elections in March, will be a decimated organization. There will be no more. And they will only have themselves to blame because they were warned. When you look at the team that the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party is presenting to the people of Antigua and Barbuda, and you compare it to the others, I'm not even calling a name, to the others, chalk and cheese. You have people under the United Progressive Party ticket who you wouldn't trust to run a sweetie shop. When you look at all of them down the line, how many of them can you look and say, I want my child to be like this person when they grow up? None. None. They have accomplished, listen to me, most of them have accomplished absolutely nothing in life. They have no track record of service. They have no track record of performance. And yet they want to come and ask you to give them the highest job in the country. These are the people who want to come to you and to ask you to give them the reins of power in this country once again. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. I'm not even going to talk about the IMF tonight. I'll leave that for the others. But despite the challenges that this country has endured throughout its history, at no point in time have we never put our shoulders to the wheel and said, look, as Antiguans and Barbudans, we can pull ourselves out of this. It hasn't always been easy. There have been times when we have struggled, and it will happen, it's life. But we have always backed ourselves that no matter what the circumstances, we can pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. In the first term in office, the first thing that the United Progressive Party did when things went rough is they ran to the International Monetary Fund. It's crazy. They're inexperienced and they're incompetent. They have no right to come to the people of this country again to ask for another chance to run this country. They cannot. Will you give them a chance? Will you give them the reins of power? Listen to me. Come election day, comrades. Labour. Labor. 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 17 none. That's it. They're done. They're dead. DJ, drop the truck. Yeah. DJ not working with me. Drop the truck. Big Red is on the ground. Yeah. Hey. When the wicked try to fight me down with them evilous ways. What you gotta do? Stand up firm and hold your ground in the Gideon way. Yeah, yeah. Good night. I love you. Rasta!
I can't cool. I can't cool. Are you roll? Comrades and friends, this has already been happening. The decision has already been taken. $300,000 for the improvement of the Clearview Hospital. That's a caring Prime Minister. He responds, $270,000 was immediately assigned to upgrade and repair the General Post Office. That's in the making. They spent 10 years in office. What did they do? What did they do? And now they have the heart to come back and tell you that they want to run something. I think you should tell them to run, go home. Because you see, Team Labour, we're going to retire some of them. We're going to bury some of them. Because we are the best. And we have an excellent leader. Time is of the essence. Put your hands together and welcome our man, Arthur Nibbs from Barbuda. Rocker, come in. Rocker, come in. Rocker, come in. Rocker, come in. Show me the guy.
Hey! Rocker, come in. All right. Yeah. Yes, Antigua. Yes, Antigua people. Let us understand this straight tonight. The Labour Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, we have declared that we want to make Antigua and Barbuda an economic powerhouse. And I told the Prime Minister, my job is to ensure that Barbuda is a part of that economic powerhouse. And let me tell you, we are well on our way. The first ever in the history of Antigua and Barbuda, you have $800 million US worth of development in Barbuda. First time ever. And I want to tell you, you can't leave that for Trevor and BPM and UPP. We're going to bring all that and election come. You're going to move Nibs out? No way. You're going to make sure that the development of Barbuda continue by voting for Arthur Mano Shabbos Nibs, man. Let me tell you something. Right now, there's an airport under construction in Barbuda. And you know what the BPM led by Trevor Walker is saying? Where we building the airport is there to catch the land turtle. So therefore, for BPM, a couple land turtles, so you mean the whole of Barbuda, is only one place that we build in the airport, you're going to find land turtle? Lord have mercy. The development of the people must take precedent over a couple turtles, even though you have to destroy some of them. So we want to be a part of the economic powerhouse, so we must build an airport. And it's coming. We already have the port of entry, you know. So when the dollar barrels start come now, you're going to really be on dollar barrel. And the UPP, Barbudans had to come here and clear a barrel, and sometimes $1,000 for the barrel. You may have to sleep 2 nights in a hotel or something, transportation. Under this government, man, that's why we're building an airport. So we can have free port of entry. So everything come direct in Barbuda under the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. And look, within the first 6 months of our new reign, you know, we're going to have zero unemployment on Barbuda. Just because between the two projects alone, Paradise found 500 permanent. Peace, Love and Happiness, another 500. And our workforce is less than that. We have about 1,100 persons on the voters list. The population is a whole lot of young people, so you got to get yourselves ready to come over, you know. Because under me are one thing. Barbuda, Antigua are one thing. We're done with this ignorance. One love for Antigua and Barbuda under the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. But I want to speak to the young ladies anyway, because it's 10 men to a woman over there. So the first set that should move should be the young ladies. And let us populate the place. So you truly have an Antigua and Barbuda working together. I got vexed about, you know, because of gas oil he sell. So when you pull up to the station, you're not going to get no gas, you just charge. So, you know, an alternative energy. Because you see, I'm counting the amount of gallon of gas you sell every day. And let me tell you now, I can make the most money out of the relief. He have the only gas station. And now we are all murdered about Antigua government ill-treating Barbuda. Barbudans have never received the treatment ever that they're getting now from the government and the people of Antigua. And thank you all very much. Thank you, Antigua. Thank you, Antigua. And what I want to say now as I leave, Barbudans, to show your love, to return your love and appreciation for all that the government and people of this beautiful island have done for us. Make sure you show it by put your vote for Arta, Mano, Shabazz, Nibs. Thank you, and may Jah guide and keep you together. Love all of you.
Blow. Rock and come in. Rock and come in. The cabinet was informed that the government of Venezuela, through their bank, contributed $2 million or EC $5,400,000 to the recovery effort in Barbuda. That's the man that will manage it. He will decide where it goes. Because you know what? We are the government of choice. And this is what we say. You either do it our way or take the highway. Rock and come in. Plenty blow. Comrades and friends, time. You see that building back there? That's our headquarters, the campaign headquarters. There's where we're going to beat a lot of people. Right in that building back there. And right here is Point FM. This is the station that rules the day right now. Them vex. Hey, how the song go? Them flap. Not me. Comrades and friends, put your hands together and bring to the podium the man that is going to retire Harold Lovell. He must go home. Melford Nicholas. We're still moving forward with Melford.
Comrades and friends, what a wonderful opening season to this 2018 campaign. You know, for the last several months, Harold Lovell has been around and on social media, and he has a lot to say. And he's throwing a lot of stones
I want you all to understand that I chose that song for my introduction for the real purpose. Because from tonight, Melford Nicholas, answer back. It's time for the answer back. Let me tell you all something about what we're facing with. Elections are about choices. And the choice between a well-led, well-organized, well-oiled, performing organization and the one that Harold Lovell has inherited. That's what is before us. Today, my comrade Twin and I were on ZDK, on our syndicated program, and we were talking about the choices. The choices. And it has begun to affect some of the UPP people. Because all we started to do was to turn Harold Lovell into the light and to examine him. Why is that important? Because this person has a track record, just like all of us have our track record. Some positive, some are negative. So what has Harold Lovell been saying? That he now is in the best position to chart the future course for Antigua and Barbuda. He wants us, while he's saying that, to forget that it's just yesteryear we had to take the sharp instrument away from him. We had to take the instrument away from him because he has brought us to the foot of the IMF and put us into that bad situation. He forgot that he was the one that allowed 25% of the economy to disappear and put many of you out of work. He forgot. And around the constituency that he was. He forget that for 10 years he represented St. John City East and had nothing to show. Nothing to show. If you ever talk to any of the UPP people in City East, the only thing they refer to you on, he fixed over the basketball court that John Eugene St. Louis built. And he got one of his colleagues to build a little wooden bridge down at the bottom of Spring Street. That's all he did. He had nothing else to show. When I was campaigning in 2014, about 2 weeks before the election was called, I went from street to street and I examined him. And I said to the people, in the first 5 years, Harold Lovell was the minister of one of the most powerful ministries in this country, tourism. And he did nothing for City East. We could not claim 5 people from City East who got employment in tourism. We could not count it. There was no placement of the people from City East in a hotel that you could say, well, all right, he has a dinner with a hotelier, and he said to them, I'm looking jobs for my people. We had a steel band, superstars, in Fort Road, and it went dormant under Harold Lovell. Not even so much as to get them a little contract to play in one of the hotels. For 5 years, he did nothing. But worse yet, when 2009 came and they made him Minister of Finance, every single dollar that was spent at Public Works, Wilmot Daniel spent $1.4 billion. And when they finished spending all that money, City East had the worst roads. Spring Street had some holes big that this big truck could fit inside them holes in Spring Street. He did nothing. Filled with water and was affecting people with mosquito and disease. He did nothing. And I asked the question, if Harold Lovell as finance minister had held the purse strings for a little while and said to the Minister of Public Works, to Trevor Walker, look, until you fix me some roads in City East, I ain't going to let go the purse strings. He had leverage, and he didn't do anything, and that was my examination of him. I didn't have to tell a single lie on Harold Lovell. I examined his performance and found him wanted. But you know, the guy boasts. He bossy. And so he took me for granted and he said, oh, Pat, well, Melford, can't manage that. He's not from around here. He took the people for granted. He think that they don't want somebody to serve their needs. And he said, no, all right? But what was happening is that there are proud people in St. John City East. These are the people that came to St. John City East and were accustomed to the level of service that they got from Sir John Eugene St. Louis. They're accustomed for a man to work with them, to understand their dreams and aspirations, and use the power of his office to help them with that. And when I walked the street of St. John City East, people said, Mr. Nicholas, if you are prepared to be our next John Eugene St. Louis, we will work with you. And I gave them that assurance. This election coming, I am going to be able to demonstrate that in part I have begun to fulfill that mandate that I was given by the people. That is going to be the comparison. Now I want to hear a number of people saying, oh, they hear that Melford not doing well. That is the rhetoric from Harold Lovell. That is not true. Nothing tall go so. Nothing tall go so. I want to tell you all just a little story. You see, Prime Minister Gaston Brown has a way of giving each of us some challenges. And towards the end of last year, when he was talking about calling the polls early, one day he said to us in cabinet, guys, are you ready? You get your act together for the end of November. Because in the new year, you never know what I'm going to do. Get your act together. Get your registration out. I had traveled in November. And you know Christmas time, how it is in City East. We are one of the best organized parties. We have to go to the Christmas ham and turkeys. And we have to do a thing with our people. So there was not a lot of time to organize a lot of registration in December. So we said, myself and a few others, PM, that's not the right time. We need some more time to organize. In January, the very organized team that I had in St. John City East delivered a knockout punch to Harold Lovell, and up to now, he can't catch himself. We out-registered, out-organized the guy in January by a factor of more than 150 to 1. So when they're telling you that we can't win in cities again, tell them me say, nothing tall go so. And when the election is called again, Melford Nicholas and St. John City East will be the first to be declared, and we are bringing that seat back home to the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Rest assured, tonight we answer back. We answer back, comrades and friends. This is war, and this is about organization of effort. I am telling you this. Sunday at the convention, just yesterday, as I sat there, and let me tell you, yesterday, I know I like to sing and I like to dance. So yesterday when they call up the candidates, boy, it happened fast and quick, boy. So they say, Comrade Samantha Marshall was seated beside me and she said, Minister Nicholas, we have to go outside. I didn't even know what we were going outside for. As soon as I turned and I nearly reached again, they said, come on, Nicholas, come back. I said, for what? They said, go up so. And they started playing my music. So my team from Cities didn't get to dance me up on the stage. So I have to apologize to them for that. So, but I can tell you, at the convention yesterday, for all those of you who were there, the place was hot. That was some energy inside that meeting. Trust me. Trust me. But you know, I said to a few comrades, including Comrade Hurst. Hurst first, you here? I see you in the background there. I said to, babysitting? I said to Comrade Hurst, you know, there is something special about what I feel in here today. Something special about Labour Party. And you know what it is? The things that we say, when we sing the red flag, and we talk about the creed, it brings people together. No matter what separates us sometimes at a local level. When it is time to congeal, to come together, the Labour Party is unique in that respect. Now, this is what Harold Lovell don't understand. I was a part of the leadership race in 2012 when Gaston made his second unsuccessful attempt of wresting the leadership from the Antigua Labour Party, from the emeritus leader. And you know, in any contest, there's a little bloodletting. It was a tough contest, but it energized the Labour Party in a way. And in the weeks and months that followed, going into the general elections. We had to bring the party back together to demonstrate to the electorate that there was hope in the Antigua Labour Party, that it was organized, and that it was together, united. And that was Gaston's first challenge. And how did he do it? Exceedingly well. I remembered for a little while after the convention, and we were going into the organization for the general elections. A number of persons were not too happy yet, and they held back their support, and they didn't give full endorsement to the new leader, etc. And I remembered one night at 46 North Street in one of the strategy meetings. I still remember it. Comrade Hurst made me cry. He made me cry. Real cry. Because he gave an impassioned presentation. And he said to us, comrades, I have supported Lester Bird all of my life. And I worked for him in the Foreign Service. But I want to tell you all, I am not very well. I believe I have another 10 years of my life. I'm paraphrasing some of it, Comrade Hurst. I have another 10 years in my life. And the state that Antigua is in at the moment demands that Labour Party be returned to office to put the country back on course. And he's going to spend every sinew in his body to ensure that the Labour Party did what it was supposed to do. And that inspired me more than anything else. Put my microphone. And that inspired me. And that, my friends, is the difference between the Antigua Labour Party, one of the differences between the Antigua Labour Party and the junk band that is the UPP now. I say that. Harold Lovell has not learned this message. Now, for many of you, if you all are like me, my relaxing moments come from when I need to chill and relax. I play a little game, or sometimes Candy Crush, or some one of these other Angry Birds on my phone, and relax. But you know when you're playing these games, it have levels. You have to pass level 1 before you get to level 2 and level 3. Up to yesterday at the convention, one of my comrades asked me, I see you playing a game there, what level are you at? I tell him at level 1653. And she looked out and she said, boy, you're good. But that's what I do to relax. I don't get in trouble. I use that game to relax. I'm going to finish here now, but I want you to understand this point. Lovell has not been able to pass level 1 because he could not even manage the organization of his party after leadership struggle. So they had a leadership issue. And before he can deal the party, he break it up. And you know what the older folks would say about sometimes a young lady that's tush and dicty, every boyfriend that comes to her, she don't want him. And then when you get later on in her life now, she accept anything. So the people would say, before she not get none now, she take any. And that is what happened to UPP. The Prime Minister frightened Harold Lovell into pulling together that little freeze-brain team of people that he have there. So he can't even pass level 1 because he don't even know how to pull the organization together. He can't select a competent team to represent this country. And he wants now to come back and to tell the people of St. John City East, who he doesn't have a track record of serving, who he has provided no work when he was in 2 of the most powerful ministries in the country. He wants to come back now and to tell us that it is his time again. Come on. Come on. In the words of the emeritus leader, let's get real. Let's get real. So I want to say to you that the fight for City East is not a real fight. But we're not going to take anything for granted. With our superior organization ability, we are going house to house. The reason why I came down here late tonight because the team was out there and they asked me to delay for the briefing. We do this every day. And we are going to go out and we are going to make sure that on the day of the election, it is Nicholas, 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 Nicholas. And just like we did in 2014, we will be the first to be declared and we will be the first of 17 in this 2018 contest. And City East will be returned to the happy bosom of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Comrades and friends, Nicholas. Champion. Comrades and friends, Comrade Nicholas said in 2014, his seat was the first to be declared. In 2018, his seat will be the first seat to retire somebody who's supposed to be some kind of politician. He will be retired. Done. Then flap. Then flap. Central Youth for Labour. Then flop. Comrades and friends, time is of the essence. You got to work tomorrow. Parliament dissolved. But look, this kind of energy is real energy. I went to a meeting that they had out in Yas, because you know I have to scout everything. And when I passed, I said, wait, you were going on here. It's a third division basketball match. Not even 75 people in the place. Next thing I hear, they say they're having some kind of public meeting. Then they said another one up in Cashew Hill. And about 10 people around the people talking. Look at people! Labour Party! Wave your hand, man! Then flap! Follow me, then flap! Then flap. Then flap. Then flap. Then flap. Comrades and friends, you see in Antigua and Barbuda, when you say the Hearsts, when you say the lake, and when you say the birds and their comrades, you know that we are roots of this organization. Put your hands together and help me welcome this lady that is on fire. She is going to take home the rural seat, Maria! 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 This girl is on fire! Rural is coming home! Yeah!
That's right, that's right. Rualies! Comrades and friends, good evening. Comrades from City West, good evening. My loving comrades from Rualies, good evening. Are you on fire? Are you ready? No. Are you ready? Right. I'm telling you tonight, this woman from Rualies is on fire. And she's ready. And I'm delighted to be here in this Garrison constituency of St. John City West. I'm no stranger to this area. I'm very familiar, so I feel quite at home. Comrades and residents of St. John City West, I'm on a mission tonight. I have a message for you this evening, a very important message. Do not be fooled by the people on the other side. Them people who wrecked our country and had a record of mismanagement. Do not throw away the gains that we have achieved in the past 3.5 years. And might I add, gains in 3.5 years that surpassed the work of the UPP over the past 10 years of the administration. 10 years that brought Antigua and Barbuda and the people of this country to our knees. I tell you tonight, I tell you tonight, if a country could have been admitted to hospital under the UPP and under the UPP, Antigua and Barbuda would have been put on life support. We would have been on life support under the UPP. But when Gaston Brown and the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party rescued this country in 2014, the conditions were grave and they required urgent, creative, and innovative attention. to raise hundreds of millions of dollars and financial resources to fix these problems. The UPP with Harold Lovell as finance minister and also the de facto prime minister. He stole it right from under Prime Minister Baldwin Spencer's nose because of his greed and hunger for power. He collapsed the economy so drastically that he put over 10,000 people out of work. In dollar and cents, that means more than $800 million in value was destroyed by that wicked UPP government. He and his UPP gang borrowed millions and millions of dollars, applied harsh taxes on our people of this country, caused businesses to close, new investments to come to a standstill, unemployment skyrocketed, mortgage and loan defaults was common, and poverty expanded. They wiped out our country and the living standards of our people. Harold Lovell and the UPP's term in Harold Lovell and the UPP's term in office was a Category 10 hurricane. For the past 10 years, they were in administration. They destroyed our country. Nonetheless, and despite all the challenges, over the last 3.5 years, the ABLP government has restored the $800 million in value that Harold Lovell and his UPP government demolished and placed the country on a firm path to further growth and development. In 2016, Antigua and Barbuda was the fastest growing economy in this hemisphere at 6.5%. In 2017, despite the effects of the September hurricanes, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and the Caribbean Development Bank predicted growth of 5.6%. 5.6% growth. If this is not growth and development, I don't know what is. Don't listen to them. Raise your hands and shout for labor, man. Labor! 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 Despite every trial, labor has delivered for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. We have entered 3 years and 7 months of economic growth and stopped the decay in our economy and set us on a new course to prosperity. The Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party has taken the economy of Antigua and Barbuda off life support. Off life support for good. The Labour Party has taken Antigua and Barbuda out of the ashes and brought it to recovery. The country is now on the move. We're on the rise. We're on the way up. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them take this development away from you. Comrade Leader Gaston Brown has rescued this country, and he has shown he's a man of the people and for the people. Make sure, March 21st, you do the right thing. City West, make sure you vote Gaston Brown and get the fireman out of town. You hear me? March 21st, vote Gaston Brown and get the fireman out of town. Now, I turn to you, my good people from Rural East. My people, I'll tell you, I'm not a woman, I'm not a fire woman, but I'm a woman on fire. I'm a woman of an everlasting flame burning for Rural East. And I'll tell you, this fire that I'm bringing will bring development for Rural East. We're going to improve healthcare in our community. We're going to improve education in Rural East. Our young people, we're going to create jobs for you. We're going to work hard. I will work hard, non-stop, for the good people of the good constituency of St. John's Rural East. And tonight, I close my comrades and friends. I end as I started. Don't let them fool you. They wrecked this country. Their track record is one of mismanagement. They wasted public funds. You want them again? You want them again? Okay. Don't let them fool you. I know fooly people. I want to tell you how Harold Lovell and his UPP gang trying to fool people. They're on radio every day, chatting lies, endless lies. The facts are different. You're armed with the facts. Make them know the facts. Don't let them fool you. The facts show that Gaston Brown and the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party have delivered for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. The facts are there. The facts are there. Sing them. Don't throw away the gains, the progress, the strides we have made over the last 3.5 years. I urge you, and you know, the best option for Antigua and Barbuda is the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. On March 21st, we vote in Labour. Rualies, you're going to vote for Maria. Maria for a brighter future. And City West, City West, City West. On March 21st, you're going to vote for Prime Minister Gaston Brown. World-class leadership, first-class leadership, the best Prime Minister there is. Vote Gaston Brown and get the fireman out of town. Labour, Labour, Labour. Thank you. God bless you.
Boy, look up below, some kind of younger ton owl. Comrades and friends of Rural East, are you here? You hear that woman? That girl is on. Rural East coming home. Our administration cares about education. And so just 2 weeks ago or last week, we have made $100,000 available for improvements at the Antigua State College. Something that has not been done in 10 years. But we care about our youths and we want them to be educated. And so we are making sure that the Antigua State College is repaired and come up to the level. And then we have 5 Islands, our campus. YSA, labor rights. Put your hands together with me and welcome to our stage the man that is anchored. He not drift none away. Our chairman of the Antigua Labour Party, Chuck Green.
Neither hunger nor thirst. Oh, God bless, no man shall ever curse. Shall be first. I shall be first. Thank you, Comrade Chair. Burning the midnight oil, creating something from nothing. Now it reached maturity and it gained popularity. Some of them claiming that is their thing. But I showed you who God bless, no man curse. He shall neither hunger nor thirst. Who God bless, no man shall ever curse. I shall be first. He shall be first. Cut. Thank you, Comrade General Secretary. I want to tell you something tonight. I've never seen any organization with the kind of depth that we have in the Labour Party. I stood there tonight and I sat tonight and I listened to Darrell Matthew making his debut performance or presentation. And I wondered for a while, is this a freshman or a veteran? I listened even more recent to Comrade Maria Brown, making her debut performance as a candidate. And I am satisfied, totally confident and comfortable to declare 17 none. We have not heard yet from the veteran Robin Yearwood. We have not heard yet from Malvin Joseph. And the man who runs the town, Gaston Brown, is not yet around. Well, let me say that this opening salvo of campaign 2018 is indeed the most remarkable and outstanding opening salvo that I have ever seen or witnessed in politics in this country. I am here tonight to identify with Comrade Gaston Brown, political leader and Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda. I'm here to tell my friends from City West that you have the very best. And so you don't negotiate, you don't compromise, you don't drop standards. How can you have the best and choose anything else? It doesn't happen. And so for me, this one is a done deal. Done deal. The only Daniel that made any sense anywhere in the world is the one in Lansden that the Lord saved. In City West, Gaston Brown is best. And I am proud to declare tonight that I am a Gastonian. That I believe in Gastonomics. And that I believe that Gaston Brown is easily the best Prime Minister this country has ever had of the four. I'm not saying these things simply or simplistically. I'm making these declarations based on some profound facts. When Gaston Brown came to office as Prime Minister in 2014, he inherited an economy on the brink of collapse. When Gaston Brown came to government and to the Prime Minister of this country, he inherited a medical service in this country in total decline. When he came to office in 2014, he inherited something that every Antiguan and Barbudan until now despises, the IMF. And he gave solemn commitments on all of those. By June of this year, to use his own words, you will see the IMF on a bicycle out of town. Don't need them around any longer because we have the skill sets, the brain power, the will, and determination to grow this country's economy without the bank of last resort, the IMF. When we came to office, a former Labour Party administration headed by Celeste Bird built the Mount St. John Hospital. And the UPP, like they do everything else, mash up that. They brought some company from America who had no history of hospital management and gave them the hospital and they run it in the ground. And so he came to office and in 3.5 short years, we are doing kidney transplants. The cancer center is working the way it should. We are providing medical assistance on a daily basis to the people of this country to a level never yet seen in Antigua and Barbuda. That is the work of a Prime Minister who understands and who cares. Of a government who understands that the people's business comes first, not sometimes, but all times, every time. I have to be short tonight because, you know, we started late. And I see as I was there, Comrade Malvin Joseph is there to speak and Robin Yearwood. And so I want to shift straight away from City West, where it is now an established fact that Gaston Brown can be declared tonight as the winner of the poll come 21st March 2018. I want to hustle across town and get to a place called St. Paul's, the most picturesque part of Antigua and Barbuda. The most beautiful of all the nations. Where some fella named Jiff Wood And his name really is who he is, Driftwood. And so we have declared in St. Paul's, whilst he drifts, we remain anchored. We remain anchored with Green in 2018, and more than with Green, we remain anchored with the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. I will make no pronouncements about St. Paul's being the first seat to be called in election. But I can tell you without fear, what's going on here, DJ? I can tell you without fear of contradiction that among the 17 seats we'll win, St. Paul's will be one. And I'm making no idle boast there. No idle boast. Anytime you people with a single seat in this country on March 21st, 2018, they get the whole government. I want to repeat it because I want people to buy into this. I want people to understand and agree with me. So confident I am about the performance of this government after 3.5 short years that I am prepared to give the whole government if they win one seat. If you're going to win a seat, there must be a basis for winning the seat. And so let's examine them. Would you trust Harold Lovell to be a leader of this country? Would you trust Harold Lovell with the Ministry of Finance again? All right. So that's one down. Would you trust Wilmot Daniel to be Minister of Public Works in this country again? Would you trust Wilmot Daniel and hope that he goes to work under the Ministry of Health? All right. All right. Chester Hughes, he done lose. Would you trust him to run anything in this country? I know one thing for a fact, that the parents, the mothers and fathers in St. Philip South are very protective of the little boys. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Time is of the essence here. I have to get on the platform quickly. They're telling me that Driftwood have some kind of experience. And I ask them in what? So we're trying now to put a cabinet together for UPP. Cabinet. Harold can be leader, can run finance. Wilmot can be Minister of Health. Worcester Public Works. Chester can't get nothing because nothing taller want he. Somebody tell me Driftwood could be made Minister of Taxi. But I said to him, come on now. Life is serious. Politics is a joke business, okay? When you elected us in 2014, you did so on the basis of the expectation that we will deliver to the needs of the people of this country. And I can say without fear of contradiction that in 3.5 short years, we have delivered. We fixed the economy. We rebuilt the banking sector. So much so that last week in the cabinet, the governor of the central bank came and said to Gaston Moore in the cabinet that we have the strongest banking sector in the entire OECS. That we have more reserves in the local banks in Antigua than in any other capital city of the OECS. They didn't stop there. They didn't stop there. And to show that we care about our people, they also said to us in cabinet that we spend more money on our elderly by way of pensions than any other country in the OECS. When I heard that one last week about the elderly, you know, it meant a lot to me because I grew up with my grandmother. And so anything for the older people in this country always has that little passion, a little touch to me. And I could not help when I heard it last week. But remember, prior to the 2014 polls, when pensioners in this country had to sleep on the pavements of Social Security waiting to get a pension check. Have you ever heard of any pensioner waiting at Social Security steps since 2014 when this government came to office? As a matter of fact, to the contrary, what you hear is pensioners saying, payments received, pension checks paid. Those are the marks of caring government. Well, let me go back quickly to this Driftwood fella because while he keeps drifting, we are anchored. We have taken a position in St. Paul's that we won't waste time on him. We are mission. We are a party and a party branch on a mission, performing, delivering to people of St. Paul's and to Antigua. And I know that you can't strip down the Ministry of Tourism and have a Minister of Taxi. And I challenge Harold Lovell to come to the people of this country and tell us what portfolio he would give to the likes of Driftwood if they were to by some chance win an election in this country. In 2014, right on the Yassasa corner in Liberta, when Comrade Gaston Brown presented me as a candidate, he made an announcement that I, Everly Paul Chet Green, would be a senior minister in an administration he heads. And so said, so done. I was appointed to the Ministry of Trade. I was appointed to the Ministry of Culture. And so Harold Lovell must understand that the people of St. Paul's understand what it is to have a representative who has ability, who can represent. And that St. Paul's would not, after 3.5 years of stern representation, go backwards to the like of Driftwood. I am pleased to report to you, comrades, tonight, that one of the reasons we decided not to say a thing about this fellow Driftwood, but rather leave him to drift, is that we proudly declare among the ranks of membership of this party, his mother. And so in deference to his mother, out of respect for his mother, we will not say much about him. They say when we talk about children, parents get offended. And so the less said, the better. We recognize Comrade Nell Howell as a veteran of the Antigua Labour Party in St. Paul's. We recognize his family members as veteran members and supporters of his global organization. And so tonight, as I close, I want to just quickly remind us that March 21st is only 3 weeks away. We heard people making noise, they want election, they want election, they want election. You want them? You get them. You get them? Hope you can take them. Good night and God bless you.
Anchored with green. We ain't drifting, going nowhere. Comrades and friends. Comrades and friends. We have a tendency. This is zone 2. We have a 1 and 2. We have a tendency not to recognize our icons and our heroes. Tonight with us, we have one of the best Calypsonians that ever graced the walls and the streets of Antigua and Barbuda. We have with us the monarch himself, King Short. Stand up, man, stand up. And look, let me tell you, the monarch is the biggest whip in the UPP's tail. We bringing it home, right? Moving on to the monarch, and he has a very special assignment. Your Calypso King of the world, the mighty monarch, King Short.
Yay! Family! Family! Well, I'm here tonight to let you know I don't come home, I come back home. Yeah. And let me tell you, there is no apology for coming back home. I started here and I'm ending up here. I want to tell you what they do to me that really turned me off. In 1988, I had a cabinet decision from the Antigua Labour Party and the Prime Minister, V.C. Bird. that my business at Halcyon Cove must operate by me and my family. Well, here what happened. I never realized that PLM and UPP are brother and sister. So I fall into a trap. I remember we run out. I remember PLM mashed down my place to Halcyon. When you're supposed to allow an Antiguan to help to develop the country, all they believe in is other people, foreign people. As a local man, no. Well, I go along with them. After they mashed down my place, I say, well, boy, what I going to do? I had to find somewhere to hang on to. I thought they fooled me though. With the blue thing. They fool lots of us. But you can be fooled one time. You can't fool me again. After they win, I went into the office and Mr. Lovell, my good friend, respect to you, sir, but you alone can't run the party. And you need some other good people because I see a lot of rookie and they can't build this country. A lot of respect for you. But this time, no, can't make it. Just imagine now, you people now, promise me, after the winning the election, I'm going to go back to Halcyon. When I went into the office by Lovell, brother be come up. I'll go take down there and get to Vendors Mall. I'll go make down there on Vendors Mall. Well, my heart started to beat fast. I look round. I see one half a plank. One miner tell me for about some I can't do that. However, they keep on promising me the first 5 years. When they were in there for about 3 years, I went to my good friend Mr. Lovell's office. I said, boss man, the people them out there think all your last all your way, you know. I said, they think all your last all your way. And this is the gospel truth. He asked me, boy, you think so? I said, yes. I'm out there and I'm hearing the talk. 5 years come and gone after I give them my cabinet decision. Then how me 5 years pass and I do nothing at all. After they win the second time, 2 years gone. Then they come and give me one piece. One piece of the land. And left the other piece. Well, they came out there, Mr. Lovell, my good friend, came out and you look around. I said, boss man, all this is what Mr. Bird said me forget, you know. All this all me forget. He tell me hold on upon this piece till next time. But me don't know when the next time I'm going to be. But me till I hang on. He take the Honorable Gaston Brown for come and bring me back on track. Right back on track. Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. If you there with a man and he treat you good, what you going to do? And if you're there with a man and he knock you about and he thump you about and he kick you about, well, that's what me do. That's what me do. But I don't have much time because I have to bring on a special person. But I know you love Calypso. And I just learn very quick. So we're going to rehearse for 1 minute. All I want to tell you to say, we voting for Labour. You could do that? We voting for Labour. This country is doing better. We voting for Labour. Like we got a new Antigua. We voting for Labour. Justin is the leader. We voting for Labour. Nobody can do it better. Now hear this. Hear this now. All the promises they made, we can remember. is they promise they go give us a better future. Things went real bad, like a disaster. We couldn't get work, we hardly get light and water. It was bad on this island, like we catch a blight. All the promises they made, nothing come to light. They leave us in the struggling while they advance. Now they come back begging for another chance. We voting for Labour. The country is running better. We voting for Labour. Look, we have a superb leader. We voting for Labour. Nobody go do it better. We voting for Labour. If you really love Antigua. Yo, thank you, thank you. Well, on a very serious note, when I saw the Honorable Gaston Brown took office, the first 9 to 10 months that he was in there, I said to myself, this man is going to be the best leader this country ever seen. With no disrespect, for everybody have their time. And as time changes, things change too. We had a great leader, Honorable V.C. Bird. We had a great man, Lester Bird. We also had a good man, Baldwin Spencer. Great man. He needed a lot of help though. But here comes the giant. The man that stole my pride. The man that made me believe Antigua is now on the right track. Let us give a wonderful round of applause for the Honorable Prime Minister of this land, Gaston Brown. Give him it! Give him it! Big man! Giant of a man. Man that's gonna run this country 20 more years. I am blessed. I am blessed.
I am blessed. Yes, 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 pull up. I just see blessing. Father God blessing. I just blessing. I just see blessing. I just see blessing. They can't stop us. I am blessed. I am blessed. Every day of my life I am blessed. When I wake up in the mornings and I lay my head to rest, every day of my life I am blessed. Let me hear you say, yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you. Flap. Run the tune. Come on. Run the tune. Them flap. Them flap. Them flap. Them flap, them flap, them flap. They're ready yet?
Them flap, them flap, them flap.
When God make them a mistake, he make.
Them flap, them flap, them flap, them flap.
Pull up! Thank you. Thank you very much. Wow, we have a sea of red here. So you know, the labor machine is well primed. Are you ready? Are you ready? 17 none. Nothing less. We want all the seats, including Barbuda. And I said to you tonight that when we would have won the 17 seats, we will not abuse power. We will be responsible with it. But I said to you tonight that the greatest threat to the development of this country is a criminal organization, a criminal enterprise known as the United Progressive Party. I want you to understand me very clearly that the most significant threat to this country is the criminal enterprise called the United Progressive Party. And we recognize that the UPP represents a serious threat to this country. And you see, as leaders, we must anticipate threats and we must take the necessary steps to protect the country. So our decision to call elections early is in essence to protect this country. Because we have political opponents who are seeking to destroy this country. They're seeking to burn this country to ashes. They want to be the king of the ashes. They want to get back into office to continue the excesses that persisted for the 10 years of their administration. I say to you tonight that we must remain vigilant. We must keep the UPP out of office in the public interest. This is not about Gaston Brown. This is not about any individual. It is about you, the people. It is about protecting your advancement. The reality is, we have made significant progress during the last 3.5 years. The progress is such that Antigua and Barbuda today is one of the fastest growing economies in this hemisphere. And you would recall that prior to us coming to office, this country's economy was in free fall. You would recall that 10,000 jobs were lost. Many of you who are here today did not have a job under the UPP. Many of you lost your homes. Many of you lost your businesses. They're behaving as though it's 2 decades ago, so the people would have forgotten. It is less than 4 years ago that we had to rescue this country. And you're telling me that having fought so hard to rescue this country, that we're going to come now, less than 4 years, and give them power? And you hear them with their buffoonery, saying that we're afraid of them, that is why we're calling elections early. You believe that? Hell no. Let me tell you, when governments have failed the people, they hold on to power. You would recall, leading up to the last general elections, that Baldwin Spencer and the UPP went into overtime. That is why we ended up having the elections in June. In other words, they had to hold on to 3 more months of income. My government, my party says, give up the 15 months. Give up the 18 months in revenue, man. It's not about us. It's about you. This election, general election, is all about you. Making sure that we continue the progress that we've made during the last approximately 4 years. It is about stability. It is about continuity. We want to ensure that investors have predictability. The reality is, there is no other government in the history of this country that has attracted more foreign direct investment than my government. None. You would know that presently we have in excess of $1.5 billion in investments programmed for 2018. 2019, at least another 1.5. So we're talking about, within the next 18 months to 2 years, $3 billion in investments. As a responsible government, we have to protect those investments. And the last thing we want is to hold an election 15 months or 18 months from now
in the middle of those investments taking place. We say that the best strategy is to consolidate the leadership of this country now for the next 5 years. And we are doing it for you to ensure that we continue to grow and to expand the economy, to create more jobs, to put you to work, those of you who are still unemployed, and at the same time, to provide opportunities for your children and your children's children. We are thinking about your future, your children's future, your grandchildren's future. At the end of the day, everything we do in this organization is about you. Everything I do as your leader is about you. I will stand against anyone, any investor, any organization, any entity that stands in the progress of the people of this country. You can take this pledge to the bank. I am not here looking for money. I am not here looking for fame. I am here to serve you. And I can assure you that all 17 candidates within this institution, they are here to serve and to empower you. Many of you probably had great expectations, but I said to you that Rome was not built in a day. But you judge our performance during the last 3.5 years. And I guarantee you that there is no government, past or present, that would have had a stronger performance in 3.5 years than this Labour Party administration. Let's hear it for Labour man. I didn't have to buckle to call elections because I know that my government has performed. We not only expanded the country's economy, we not only created thousands of jobs to put you back to work, we also reduced the debt to GDP from 102% down to 75% today. That is what you call progress. I give you an example of one debt. You will recall that as soon as we came to office, within the first few days of taking office, I had a call from Mr. Wayne Mitchell, who rapped on the doors of the Prime Minister, and he said to me, your government is in arrears. The IMF wants its money. You got to pay, otherwise we will blacklist your country. I said to him, sir, we have no money. We need some time to pay. We would like to restructure. We would like to restructure our loan. He said to me, no deal, find the money. But guess what? We found the money. And we brought that loan of $320 million up to date. The UPP did not pay 1 red cent on that loan. So they used the money, they squandered the money. We came into office, we had to find the money to pay off that loan. And you know what? In fact, I recall too that within the first 60 days of our administration, we had a meeting at Sandals. We had a meeting at Sandals. And I recall that the IMF representative said to me that Antigua and Barbuda's finances were so terrible that we had to go back into an IMF program. Who tell her say that? I spoke before her. And I said to her, not on my dead body. Can't happen. The UPP at the time, they said that I was making a big mistake. How can I drive the IMF out of the country? They say that we would have lived to regret it. But guess what? Today, we have reduced that loan from $320 million down to $18 million. And within the next week, we will pay another $8 million. So it'll be down to $11 million, $10 million. Can you imagine that? In 3.5 years. And by the way, you know, If the UPP people bother us too much, we pay it off before the end of the month. So, whereas they went cap in hand to the IMF to get a loan of $320 million, my government said to the IMF, on your bike, get going. You know, I want to say to you that you have a great government. You have several men and a young lady, Comrade Samantha Marshall. A team that has delivered for the people of Antigua and Barbuda. We have worked very long hours. There are times when we've had cabinet meetings for 12, 13, 14 hours, hammering out issues, coming up with strategies, especially financial strategies, to address the issues, the plethora of problems that we inherited. And I know that there's some who are seeking to hold us responsible for all of the country's problems. But I said to you tonight that we did not create a single problem. The bad roads we did not create. We inherited those bad roads. But guess what? We are spending this year $250 million to fix the roads in this country. We did not leave Mount St. John in shambles. We inherited Mount St. John in shambles. And guess what will happen? Already, we have pumped over $40 million to properly equip Mount St. John, to include the most up-to-date, state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment. We are now doing advanced surgeries at Mount St. John, including kidney transplants. That ever happened on the UPP? Of course not. I moved to education. Within the last year, we have added 210,000 square feet of space to the secondary school plant. Did the UPP raise $1 to build one school? They got a gift from the Chinese for what was intended to be a secondary school. But we said to the people of Antigua and Barbuda, we done add 210,000 already to the school stock, including the construction of a new secondary school, the Sanovel Riches Academy. And we said to you that the Five Islands facility will be the 4th campus of the University of the West Indies. That is what you call empowerment. You see, they never thought about accelerating the establishment of a university here in Antigua and Barbuda, because as far as they're concerned, they want to be king of the ashes. We want to empower you and your children to make sure that even as adults, that you can do short courses at the university, to make sure that we equip you to increase your skills, to increase your qualifications so that you can get better jobs, better pay. So we will make, you have to bear with us, we're just testing out the system today. So we'll iron out those kinks for the next meeting. But the point I'm making here is that you will be able to get a university education right here in Antigua for a fraction of the cost compared to if you had to travel overseas. And I want to encourage all of you to avail yourselves of the opportunity to have a university education, no matter your age. Scholarships. We have been granting in the region of $20 million a year in scholarships. So when they ask where the money gone, tell them they're gone in scholarships, in healthcare, in education, in green energy, and I could go on and on. My government is the first government that has invested heavily in green energy. We have a 10 megawatt solar plant that has been installed. Within a matter of months, we will do another 10 megawatts of green energy. It will be a combination system of wind and solar energy. And by so doing, you know what will happen? We will reduce the price of electricity. You can take that to the bank, that there will be a reduction in the price of electricity in the new term. That's guaranteed. And you know that we do not make idle promises. Let me also say something to you. The structure of APUA is such that APUA is not generating positive cash flows so that they can cut electricity prices. That is the reality. So no matter what the UPP said to you, they will tell you that they'll reduce electricity costs by 50%. But that is to fool you. You'd recall that prior to the 2004 general elections, they said the same thing to you. Did it happen? Of course not, because it can't be done. I am not going to come here and lie to you. You know that if it was possible to reduce the cost of electricity by 50% today, you better believe it would have been done. So, what we're doing here is to transition into green energy, reduce the price of electricity, and pass the savings on to you. And you know the only other thing we're going to do? We're going to introduce smart metering. So that just as how you put money on your cell phone, you can put $100 on your bill and you use it accordingly. That is how we're going to roll, man. And let me tell you something. This country will never see a government that is as caring and supportive of the working class people anytime soon. So you better hold on to what you have. You have a leader and 16 other representatives who emanated out of the grassroots, out of the working class people. We understand your pain. I have lived your pain. I grew up among the poorest of the poor. That is why I have significant empathy for you, the people. So when the UPP, the IMF, the World Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank said to us that we should not give you duty-frees on your cars, we said to hell with them. We say that you must have the opportunity to own a motor vehicle in this country. A motor vehicle is no longer a luxury. And let me tell you one of the things that we're doing too. By virtue of having the opportunity to buy one of those reconditioned vehicles cash, you don't have to go and burden yourselves in a $40,000 loan, $100,000 loan. You know what we want to do with that money? We want you to invest that money. And as I speak to investment, one of the initiatives that we have just embarked upon is that we have created an entrepreneurial fund. They're promising some kind of foolish yes program. When you hear them talking about yes, tell them yes, it's already in place. Today, we sent the first $1 million in cash. And when I say cash, meaning check, to the Antigua and Barbuda Development Bank to provide you with loans for business creation and for business expansion. But we didn't stop there. We have also introduced a tax in the amount of 5 cents. Every single person who calls this country must pay 5 cents to go towards funding entrepreneurship. And you know why we're doing it? See, you the ordinary people, I want you to control the commanding heights of this country's economy. And I don't want anybody to think that there's any form of racism in my institution. We embrace everybody, notwithstanding nationality, ethnicity. But I say to you that the indigenous black people of this country, they come first. For too long that they've been left behind. They've been left behind for 10 years. Unemployed, hungry, poor, homeless, carless, jobless. No, not under this government. We say that under labor, that you must thrive. You must enjoy living standards that are second to none. That is what we are seeking to achieve. And we want you to also pool your resources. Too many of our people trying to go it alone. There has to be an element of trust. Come together, pool your resources, and get involved in business. There are many opportunities to be filled here. We cannot allow people external of the Caribbean to continue to come here to control the commanding heights of this country's economy and to leave the indigenous people behind. And my government is providing the infrastructure and the opportunities for your empowerment. One of the things that we will do is that we will make a number of beach lots and waterfront lots available to Antiguans and Barbudans within the next few weeks. And I say within the next few weeks after the next general elections, because I am confident that we will win the next general elections. Labour will be returned. And you know, if the incompetent UPP government could have been given 10 years to mash up this country, why we can't be given 9 years to advance it? The track record is there. When you look at what we have achieved in 3.5 years, you can imagine what's going to come for the next 5. Don't let nobody fool you. It is my government that fixed the water problem in this country. We spent over $45 million to clear Semcorp and to construct 2 additional reverse osmosis plants. And before the end of this year, we add in a 3rd one because we want to make sure that every time you open up the pipes that you get water. We will also make sure that we repipe all of Antigua and Barbuda to make sure that you get clean water and to stop the amount of interruptions from burst pipes. But I want you to understand, these are problems that we inherited. Lest you forget that when we came to government in June of 2014, the government prior could not even pay for petrol for APUA. I recall that within the first 2 weeks of our administration, I had a call from Gregory Georges of West Indies Oil Company. And he said to me, Prime Minister, I'm sorry, I've been given instructions not to deliver any petrol to APUA. Yes. So he said to me at the time, the government owes us $89 million. I have in my hands about $7 million in checks that I cannot deposit. And my directors said to me to cut off APUA completely. You know what that would have meant? They would have plunged the country into darkness. I was overseas. Well, you know, I had to done bad man right away to protect the interests of the country. And I said to Gregory Georges, you tell your directors that if they don't deliver the petrol, if they don't deliver the petrol, that was about 5 o'clock he called me. Banks done shut down everything. Said to him, if they fail to deliver the petrol before 8 o'clock tonight, and they plunge my country into darkness, they can't put their foot back in this country. Me, Gaston Brown, say so. And they buckled. And they delivered the petrol about 8:30. At that time, this is no exaggeration, APUA and APC generators had no more than a half an hour to go. I'm not exactly proud of it, but what were our options? Then when I got back, I called Gregory to my office. I said to him, you tell your directors that within the next 120 days, we'll buy West Indies Oil Company. So Gregory Georges called them and said to them, well, you know, there's been a deal on the table for about 8 years to purchase West Indies Oil Company for $81 million US. The Prime Minister says that he'll buy it. They laughed They said, but hold on, you're a bad debtor. You owe us $89 million. And you're going to buy us out? They laughed. But guess what? Within 120 days, we raised the money and we bought West Indies Oil Company. That's how we roll around here, man. And today, we own, and you know what we did? It was a speculative transaction. I went to a few moneyed people and I said to them, by the way, before we actually went to them, I said to the directors of West Indies Oil Company, you know what? I'm not paying you all $81 million, you know. So they say, what do you mean by that? I say, you've been operating it for 40 years. You done rob off the people for 40 years. We're not paying $81 million for that. And they said to me, well, we're not budging. We have a formal document here, which was signed by Baldwin Spencer for the $81 million. So I said to them, no problem. Well, I'll raise the money and build some new tanks, and we have our own oil refinery. So they then decided, all right, let's go see it. So I had the Honorable Hilroy Humphreys, Sir Terry Byrne, and the third, and Mr. Badu. And Mr. Badu, the Comptroller of Customs, negotiating with them. So they moved from $81 million down to $60 million. So the guys called me and tell me, boy, we have a good deal. I said to them, the conversation can't start at 60. So then they came down to 45. I said, okay, the negotiation just started. Then I recall Terry Byrne saying to me, boy, you better accept that. Even Hilroy Humphreys, he said, look, Prime Minister, accept the 45 I run. I said, Hilroy, who you work for? So they went back, and then we got them down to $30 million US. But we not only bought West Indies Oil Company, we not only bought West Indies Oil Company for $30 million US, we got 130 acres of land back from them, which we then gave to National Housing to build homes to you, the people of Antigua and Barbuda. So, we inherited a country in which everything was bad. They could not pay for water. They couldn't pay for electricity. They could not fix the roads. And by the way, you know, prior to 2014, they spent $1.4 billion ostensibly to fix roads. You know, half of that went into the pockets. Unless you not forget, they used to sell diplomatic passports too. The most recent one that just came to light is a Chinese man who says that Mac Emanuel was paid $100,000 US or a portion thereof for diplomatic passport. We have the documentation so he can sue. And I want to tell you all something. I will not deliberately slander anybody, no matter who the person is. But guess what? I will stand in any forum and speak the truth about them. Mac Emanuel needs to account to the people of Antigua and Barbuda. How come he ended up with monies from a Mr. Chow, and Mr. Chow is now saying that those monies were for diplomatic passport? You know what happened with Mansour as well? Mansour got $500,000 US for diplomatic passport as well. Tell him Gaston Brown says so, sue me, because they're not lying on him. Baldwin Spencer as well got monies for diplomatic passport. They were selling diplomatic passports left, right, and center. And now they want to come and point fingers at my government. But I said to you, notwithstanding all of the allegations, no corruption has been proven in my government. I know that there are some allegations of bribery, but tell them to prove it. And my policy is, if there's any such corruption in my government, I will weed out whomever. Many of you will know about the situation with Comrade Asset Michael. Up to this point is an allegation. We haven't seen any evidence. And I said to him, sorry, Comrade Asset Michael, but you know, we're keeping this government clean. You have to sit out for the time being. Now, if they don't present any evidence, then certainly you're putting him back in the government. So, the point is here, I want you to understand my commitment to good governance. Even when something smells wrong or appears to be wrong, you ask my colleagues, I intervene, because guess what? I am the gatekeeper. I am the finance minister. And I can say to you tonight, without any fear of contradiction, that not 1 cent of public funds were misappropriated under my government. And if you notice, up to this day, where is it talking about international scandals and so on? You have not heard them even say that maybe one contract went bad and we stole any money. I hear they want to know where we got money from to buy Big Red. I can assure them it's not government money. We don't steal government's money. And when you see what is happening in this organization, I want you to understand, colleagues, when you become a member of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party, you become a member of a great movement. We are building an institution. This is not just about a party to win an election. This is an institution to ensure sustainability in governance, an institution that will continue to govern this country for your empowerment, an institution that will not only serve you, but your children and your children's children. So we have to make sure that we have assets that will take us into the next 10, 15, 20 years. That is why we're building a party headquarters. That is why we have Big Red. And guess what, you know? What they don't even know, Big Red is going to pay for itself. Because it's not only a political tool, you know. It's an all-purpose, multi-purpose tool. So those who run in them out in Big Red, guess what? They're scared of Big Red. Anyway, let me just turn to a few constituency matters and wrap up, because I'm sure that a couple of my colleagues would like to get a 5 minutes in. So you would see from this join here on your left that this is a community center and polyclinic to be constructed in Villa starting in July of this year. This is the actual drawings, the renditions that were done by the Chinese firm. It has been funded by the People's Republic of China. A beautiful community center and polyclinic. So the people of St. John City West can be assured that under my continued leadership, that this constituency will continue to advance. And I don't want any of you to feel jealous about the transformation of this constituency. It will start here, but it will be replicated throughout the island. So whereas at Judge Bay, we now have the finest housing project on the island, you can be assured we're going into every single community to replicate what we're doing at Judge Bay. And when they talk about 500 homes, tell them even bad about that. We're going to build thousands of homes. Now, St. John City West, as you know, was left behind for many years. They have invested in me. They would have voted for me on 4 occasions. And I have an obligation to make sure that there's advancement in this constituency, but I assure you that the other areas will not be left behind. So at Villa Park, we are presently refurbishing that facility, and it will be one of the nicest playing fields on the island. Also, we are spending $4 million presently to upgrade the Villa Primary School. If you go there today, you see that it is significantly better. We are creating more jobs. We're fixing the roads. And within the St. John's Harbor, we will invest hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, for example, that we will spend $250 million to do a new cargo port that will be a transshipment port to service not only goods coming into Antigua and Barbuda, but to service the sub-region and even within the wider Caribbean. We'll also spend $80 million to build a new berth right here from Point Wharf, going right into Heritage Key. And that project has started. They have started the judging. Before the end of this year, it will be completed. These projects will generate more income, more jobs, more revenue, more entrepreneurial opportunities. Another project will be an $80 million project at Fort James, in which we'll create an entertainment and leisure facility. And even though they're physically located here, they'll create opportunities for all Antiguans and Barbudans right through the country. We just happen to be in the right area with the right leader. But I assure you that the benefits will be shared. I want to thank the people of St. John City West sincerely for their confidence and trust. It was back in 1999 that I debuted, a total neophyte, and I have to thank our emeritus leader, the Honorable Lester Bird, and others who recruited me from Swiss American Banking Group. At that time, I had a very good job. I had no interest in politics. At age 27, I became a senior manager within the Swiss American Banking Group, making $16,000 a month. And by the way, if I have money today, it's because I had money then. And I'm a man who do not smoke. I don't put my money in marijuana, in cigars, in cigarettes, in rum. My money going to the bank to be invested. So they actually invested in this youngster in 1999 and stood with me year after year. And certainly within the approximately 2 decades, term after term. And I want to thank them severely for the confidence and trust. But it's not only the people of St. John City West. Those of you who are here, right through the country, I know that I enjoy strong support throughout Antigua and Barbuda. And I want to thank all of you for your support. I want you to know that I value your support. I want you to know that I'll continue to honor your support and that I will do everything possible for your empowerment. My singular focus is your empowerment. I do not need any money. I have enough money for my old age, even before I became Prime Minister, and I'm not boasting. I just want you to know the focus is to empower you, the people of Antigua and Barbuda. And that is why I can stand in any forum and defend and protect and promote your interests. That is why when investors come here and they try to rip you off, I can stand and tell them, not over my dead body. And when they offer me money, I say to them, I don't want your money, man. I have to protect the interests of my people. That is where we roll around here, man. So I ask you for your continued support. I ask you to go out on the 21st of March and to support every single candidate of the Antigua and Barbuda Labour Party. All of the candidates in Antigua. Comrade Arthur Nibs in Barbuda. And I know that the Barbudans, I know that there is a lot of propaganda out there. But I say to you that the progress that Barbuda will make during the next 5 years will make Barbuda the fastest growing island in the hemisphere. We are building an airport presently in Barbuda. How many of you know that? We are just about to start construction of a new cargo port in Barbuda. We'll be building hundreds of new homes in Barbuda. And we'll also be installing solar energy to make Barbuda the only green island in the Caribbean in this hemisphere. Totally green island. So I want to know if they're going to follow those who continue to spread propaganda to secure power for their own benefit, or if they're going to support Comrade Arthur Nibs and the Labour Party. I say to them, the people of Barbuda, to you, the people of Barbuda, that the choice is obvious. It must be Comrade Arthur Nibs and the Labour Party. And understand that the continuity and certainly the security of this nation is paramount. We do not need a change at this time. To change is to destroy the progress, to reduce your living standards, to erode the gains, to put an incompetent set of criminals, individuals who are involved in human trafficking, individuals who beat their wives, individuals who stole school buses, individuals who sold passports, diplomatic passports. Those are the people you're dealing with. And one individual who burned down 2 properties to get insurance money. Individuals who are incompetent, they are incapable. I am saying to you, my dear people, tonight, I plead with you, please go out on the 21st and support this great institution. And I said to you that we should not take any chances. Yes, we are on the ascendancy, but we have to keep it tight. We have to continue the momentum going right into March the 21st to make sure that we get out there early and to vote and to encourage your family members to go out early as well. We want a good turnout. If there's a low turnout in the next general elections, it must be on account of the UPP supporters. Those who are ashamed of their performance during the 10 years in office. I say to you that you should be proud of our performance during the last 3.5 years. You should be able to hold your heads up proud and walk into that polling booth and say that I'm going to vote to the Labour Party candidate because they have delivered for this country and that they will continue to deliver for Antigua and Barbuda. That is how we roll, man. Thank you very much for your support. Let's keep it locked with Labour. Let's go out there and win all 17 seats. Nothing less. Thank you very much.
Flop. Comrades and friends. Comrades and friends. Comrades and friends. Listen up, listen up. Not only can you see us, not only can you hear us, but you can taste us. Big Red. You can taste us. Big Red. But please, give us a little chance, right? Because today, we took this out at about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And look at here, we roll in. This is, so bear with us. Bear with us. Tomorrow night, we are moving to 5 islands. The Big Red Machine moving to 5 islands. And listen, on Wednesday, we go to Macpon. And then Thursday, we go to Lords. Thwaites Corner. We must finish them once and for all. And listen, when the boss comes off on the platform at 11:25, you know what time it is? For go home. We have a truck on the road. We have a truck on the road. Safe drive home. Good night. We have a truck on the road. The anthem, the national anthem. We got a truck on the road. Comrade Asset Michael. Comrade Maria Bird. Comrade Malvin Joseph. Comrade Chet Green. Comrade Daryl Matthew. Comrade Arthur Nibs. Comrade D. Jonas. Comrade Robin Yarwood. Comrade Melford Nicholas. Comrade Landell Benjamin. Comrade Colin James. The mighty monarch. Safe drive home. Safe drive home. Labor rights! We got a truck on the road!
We have a truck on the road. 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 We have a truck on the road party back. 16 and 20 party
Boy.
To create more jobs and opportunities. Also, most importantly, the rebuilding of we country. So we voting Brown again, voting for Gaston again. Gaston Brown this year, my friend, must run the country again. Gaston Brown's on a mission, doing all that he can. His present work at hand needs no introduction. His